Good evening, it's Jane Birkinshaw from Love Your Lens here. This is now our regular slot when I tell you what I thought of everybody's shots from the previous week for the Live Shoot Love Challenge, which by now I hope you know you can sign up for on the Love Your Lens page, Facebook page. At the very top of the page there's a link that you can click on to get the free weekly email, and also you'll see when I announce the new topic each week there. So last week's challenge was black and white portrait, and I have to say I think it's one of the strongest weeks we've ever had as a group. I've seen a few people out and about and heard comments from the group, and everybody's more or less saying the same thing, that the standard of shots is so high that I mean I'm staggered. Some of the shots this week that we'll go through, you'll see are really strong portraits, and I'm it sounds a bit patronising, but I'm really proud of what you've been posting here. Somebody did mention to me that it can be a little bit intimidating as a newcomer to post when some of the shots are of that standard, and I think that's a shame, and I think people should continue to post, should continue to watch and listen to the comments that are being made about those pictures that are strong, but not be frightened to post their own and learn as well, and have fun and see their photography grow, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Now, we had a really high number of shots submitted this week, and I've got it down to 12 that I'm going to talk through with you, and I hope people agree with the final choice that I've made for my favourite, but I think you can see that I've had a really difficult job on my hands. So first up is this shot by Jo Armishaw of I think it's her father-in-law watching golf. It's a lovely candid shot, and she's caught him in great light, a nice strong side light really revealing the texture and detail on his face. And I meant to say before I really got started in the full critique, the reason that made me pick, the criteria that made me pick the 12 shots that I have done is they're not just a quick snapshot, they're a considered shot. There might be strong light in the picture, which indeed there is in this case. The shot captures the character of the person that's being photographed, or animal, as it was as well. The shot tells a story, and the composition is strong. So that's the sort of criteria that I've looked at as I've gone through the images and whittled these down to 12. This shot by Ant Norfolk, hi Ant, I don't think we've had the pleasure of sort of saying hello to each other yet, of a homeless man, is fantastic. A really great candid shot. I just the look in his eyes, the story that's being told there, kind of almost the beseeching, almost praying angle of his hands. You can see the dirt under his nails. I think it's a really strong candid portrait. Then this shot by Denise Dawson. This shot of by Denise Orford, too many Denises, of her daughter. Really strong classic portrait. In black and white, it's kind of timeless. It's a beautiful pose. It's almost, I hate to say it, Denise, you won't like this at all, but it's almost like the loss of innocence kind of portrait, if you know what I mean by that. Beautiful looking girl, and the eyes have it in that shot. Then we have the other Denise Dawson, who has caught a candid shot of a little boy at a transport show. Again, a strong shot. He's looking quite pensive, as she said in her description, and I like the symmetrical composition of that shot and the strong contrasts as well, and the detail in the hose, in his cap. It's very nicely framed. Good catch. And then we have Marilyn Goff's picture of a real interesting character sat on a pavement, and I really like this shot. He is a very interesting guy, and you kind of question where he is he off to, what's he doing, why is he sat on the pavement, and he seems kind of almost out of place next to the modern cars. So it begs sort of lots of questions, that picture. Then we've got this awesome shot by Karen Herman Wright. I didn't include the one that you edited and sent through to me, Karen, removing the blobs of light on the left because it was too low resolution. So those of you looking at this for the first time, imagine it without the flashes of light on the left-hand side. Absolutely amazing portrait. And this is where you've got very, very strong light. And then you've got the really strong contrast and then the angle, the profile shot. A really, really strong picture by Karen. She set the bar so high this week that, I think she's even going to struggle to beat herself going forward now. Paula Chatterton, this swan, the light is amazing. The angle that she's caught of this swan, the detail of the feathers, the little furry feathers over his beak. It's just all about great light and very strong composition, that one. Okay, then we have Karen Herman, no, sorry, not Karen Herman Wright. We have Karen Staniland Platt with what I would call it's a very strong workplace portrait. I'd be proud of this if I'd taken it of for somebody's business portrait. This woman looks very strong, very confident, leader, manager of her office. There's a sense of a story going on behind her where she works, and I could almost see it sitting in like the Observer magazine or something. So I really like that portrait. And then we've got Shannon and her dog. Shannon's only 15, I think, and I think this is a very clever portrait of her Labrador. I love the way that she's half framed it. There's a few issues there with exposure, but in terms of having a go at something a bit different, I think she should be commended on that. Then we've got Rachel Burton's portrait of her daughter, nicely backlit. So again, there's a story of some nice light there, great composition and an enigmatic look on her daughter's face. It would have been very easy to get her daughter to smile, and I think the expression works really well and shows a lot of character of her daughter. So nice strong portrait there. Then we've got Thomas Batson White's selfie. I absolutely loved this when I saw it. I would actually really like to see it without the artistic effect on it, the Prisma effect or whatever it is. I think it's very strong, the lighting's strong. It's an amazing angle, the contrasts are great in it, and it's a really unusual portrait, and yeah, I love it. Okay, and then on to my favourite shot. I don't think it'll be a surprise for anybody here that I've picked Karen Herman Wright's very kind of brave, stripped back, naked, not literally naked, selfie in the mirror. It's arresting, it's clever. I'm kind of struggling for words in a way. It's great competition. The eyes are compelling. The expression that she's caught in her own face is amazing. The setup that it took to do it, and the imagination and time. I mean, Karen, it is really, really something special. So well done for that. I hope you don't mind me saying one tiny little bit of critique. If you crop this and crop out the distraction to the left hand side, I don't think it sort of alters the image at all. Just kind of stops your eye going off to the left to that rather strong line. So absolutely amazing set of images this week. Here they are as a collage for those of you who well, just as a nice kind of how amazing are you all doing with your images. Look at the standard of these photographs. And those of you who aren't featured in this collage, really, there were a lot of you that I could have put in there, but I had to start using some really strict criteria because it was such a good week from everybody. So I hope you all have a great week looking at our topic of blue. I won't go on because I've probably talked for quite a while now anyway, but have a fantastic week, and I look forward to talking to you again here next week.